Hey guys, Heidi Easley here, founder and owner of Texas Art and Soul. And I am so happy Tamara wanted me to show you a technique in this group. Now, I love stenciling, okay? So I teach women all over how to make money teaching paint parties. And one of those ways is using stenciling in their designs. So today I'm going to show you how to do an ornament because I know it's July, but I teach a lot of Christmas paintings in July. I do kind of like a Christmas in July paint party tour, and I'm doing a lot of Christmas paintings, so it kind of got me inspired to teach you how to do the stenciling on an ornament door hanger. So it's something maybe you can do with your family, with your daughter or your son, something fun this summer when it's really hot outside. You can just play some Christmas music, watch some Hallmark Christmas movies, and do a Christmas in July paint project. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to give you all the step-by-step, so stay tuned. Thank you. I love adding just fun details to either door hangers or paintings, and stenciling is a really great way to do that. So we're actually, when you get your, when you do your little ornament, and again, this is just a fun Christmas in July, when you get your ornament, we're just painting it solid red, and then let that dry for a minute. And I'm just going to show you a couple of different fun stenciling techniques. So this is just done on canvas, and this is just a, dollar store, or I think I got it at Walmart, an anchor that I could trace and either paint on or hot glue on. But the fun thing is you just take a stencil and actually just dab different colors, and it makes a really cool technique. So I'm going to show you how to do that with a door hanger, so that if you want to do like a Christmas in July type thing, you can. Okay, so I chose this stencil, so I'm going to kind of line it up where I want it in the center, and then just kind of find your placement of where you want it at so it's kind of straight, and then look at each edge to make sure you have the stencil exactly how you want it. Okay, so I think I'm going to have it right there. And you can do any colors that you want. I'm going to use some mixes of whites and a little bit of gold. And I'm just using a makeup brush. Just one of those makeup sponges. You can get like a ton of them, like 100 of them for a couple bucks. And then you just take your paint and dab it. And I'm going to start with the outside edges and hold my stencil down. So I'm just dabbing, and my red's a little wet, so it's coming through. So you might want to hit your stencil with a blow dryer so it doesn't have any of the red that comes through. Yeah, some of that red's coming through. I might have to let this dry just a minute longer, or put a second coat on there. I love doing Christmas in July type stuff. It's not only fun, it kind of just gets you thinking about fall, especially when it's so hot outside, but it's just really fun too. Me and my daughter, we like to, schedule like a couple days, because I do a ton of paint parties in the fall and spring, and actually in the summer, we're doing 2 Christmas in Julys this summer. We're actually doing a paint party road trip all the way to South Florida. We've done it the past 2 years. This will be the 3rd year in a row. And we have this long, fun road trip, and then we also do paint parties. So it's really fun because it, helps pay our bills, plus we get to visit friends and some family. And I live in Texas, by the way, so it's about, all the way to Vero Beach is about a 20-hour drive. So we do paint parties in Panama City Beach, where I used to live, and then we do paint parties in Tallahassee and also Vero Beach too. We have a couple scheduled there this time. But it's just really fun because you can not only do the paint parties, but have a fun road trip with your kid, and when she's getting preteen, it's kind of nice to have those moments together because she's getting at that age where she's going into 7th grade, and just, those times when you want to be able to be there for him and talk to him and all of that good stuff. I'm going to do gold in the center flower, and I'm just actually not going to do it on there very dark. I just want it a little bit. I'm going to take a peek. Yeah, I just want it kind of lightly. So I'm going to use this gold. It's Old Gold from Artist Loft, if you can see that. Old Gold from Artist Loft. I'm going to take it and just dab it a little, and then just kind of dab it into here. So I'm not making it really, really dark. And this is just really fun. You know, I don't know if y'all know my story, but I'm sure I can relate to some of y'all. About 10 years ago, we lost everything when we were living in Florida. We went bankrupt, we lost our house, it was just awful. And I felt like everything was over. I felt like this is the end of the world. You know, I was so humiliated. I didn't talk about it for many, many years. And then, you know, I started kind of using art to heal. At the time, I didn't realize it, but I started using art to heal, and I was painting these little mini surfboards that I had cut out of some spare wood I had. And they were about this big, and I was, you know, just kind of painting them and playing with them. And I was a school teacher, art teacher in Florida, and so I took them up there to work on them during lunch. And I had about 850 kids a week that would come through my classroom, which meant, you know, a few hundred a day would come through my classroom. And they saw the surfboards and they would just go crazy. They'd, Miss Easley, put my name on it. Oh my gosh, you've got to make me one of those surfboards. And you know, after about the 150th kid said something, I thought, oh my gosh, like I think I can sell these. I think I can make some money off of these. And so, long story short, you know, here I am, a person who would usually take like a year to do a painting. I ended up setting up this booth at Pier Park, if you've ever heard of Pier Park. And I ended up setting up this booth at Pier Park, and we sold over 1,000 of those little surfboards in 2 months, with me working about 12 to 13 hours a day. If it was raining, I was painting them, you know, in the back of my car. If it was, you know, whatever the case was, because I knew every $20 surfboard I sold was a chance to help my family, and I knew it was a chance to do something, you know, to actually be able to like make a way. And so it was really awesome. God kind of showed me that summer that, you know, not only even, you know, something that I thought was just so awful, not only can he turn it around and make it into something amazing, but he showed me that I could always use art to make money for my family. He told me, you know, he showed me that I could always use my talents to make money for my family. So, so since then, you know, I taught art for 10 years, actually, 7 years in public schools. And then I went down to part-time and taught at my daughters when we moved back to Texas. I taught in Frisco for a while. Then I went to part-time and taught for 3 years, just a few hours a week, while I was building my art business at my daughter's school. So that was pretty cool. And then now I do art and teach paint parties and teach women how to start a paint party business full-time now. And it's just been so amazing to see how, you know, even when like I'm freaking out thinking, oh my gosh, is it all gonna work out? You know, God's like, yep, and it always does. And I get to do fun things like this. So whether you're just making these door hangers, you know, for art healing, which is so valid, you know, I'm a big believer in that. Just recently I finished a couple, let me rephrase that. 7 days of painting, 12 to 13 hour days, I worked on school mural project for a school in Houston, and it was really awesome. And it was just like, it was like a therapy session because I would just crank up my music and just listen to music and just kind of paint and just be in the moment of painting. And it was so much fun. And I just finished that not too long ago. So when you're watching this, if you go to my Texas Art and Soul Facebook page, you'll probably see the murals if you scroll down, or go to my photos. If you go to my photos, you can see the school murals, and we did tons of quotes and inspirational things for the kids. It's a middle school and a high school, and I just feel like it's so important that that they get that, that we're, even whether they know it or not, they're reading these things that, about them, that they're amazing and that we love them and all these things that will hopefully help them to just be, build up their self-esteem, their courage, all that stuff, so that they know that we love them. Okay, so this happens sometimes if you don't let your stuff dry all the way. I have a pinkish color here, so I'm just gonna let that dry and kind of blob on some more white. Glamour Dust by Deco Art. I called it glitter dust, but it's sprinkle on glitter, and I'm actually gonna use it for, see how it comes out? So fun. I'm actually gonna use it for parts of the white. So while it's still wet, I'm gonna just sprinkle this on. And because this is a Christmas in July painting, well, I feel like glitter is good for all paintings. And when I'm at private parties or church events, I like to use these because then it's the glitter glue. That way people, they don't get it everywhere, because this can kind of go everywhere. But since I'm at my home art studio, well, my husband hates glitter with a passion, but as long as it's in my studio, we're usually pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry a second longer. Let me see if I can dab with my brush and see if I can make it kind of cover. That's really the only spot I keep pulling up. So I'm gonna kind of dab that off. Y'all get to see some problem solving right in action. A lot of times too, when I teach people, stuff like this happens, and they have to know, like, it's okay. If it happens, it's totally okay. So I just took a big brush with some white. I'm gonna take a little bit more white because it's just turning pink. And then when y'all do this one, just don't, just make sure you let the red dry all the way. Don't do what I did. Let the red dry all the way and then you can go for it. I like lots of glitter. Okay, so we're gonna pull this up and see how it turned out. So just pull it back. Okay, and then again, you can use any type of stencil you want. I just wanted to use something kind of fun. Oh, my painting's stuck to the bottom. Something kind of fun, and then I can take and write joy or something like that in the middle of this. So this kind of bled a little bit. So if it does bleed a little bit like that, you can just go back to your red and then take a smaller brush again. And this would also be cute to just do an initial, or to put Be Merry, anything really. And I find that the Christmas paintings that have the most success are usually the ones that are dealing with like reds, whites, black, and gold. Pretty much are the ones that seem to be the most popular. So I'm gonna take a small brush. I'm actually just gonna do the letter, because you could write joy in here, but I'm actually just gonna do a big letter E for easily. And I'm gonna do it in white, since we have a lot of white going on. And then I might take a small thin black line and add that. So just kind of tilt it, and you can use stencils too if you want for the letters. But I'm just gonna kind of take it and just, I'm using my pinky to kind of guide me. So a letter E for easily for our house, and then I can just make this go together. The main thing I want you to get out of this tutorial is you don't always have to paint a bunch of stuff on your door hanger. You can always bring a bunch of paint, a bunch of stencils, and people could add stuff like that, especially when it's a fun ornament. I teach a lot of painted prayers, and it's basically where people have stencil backgrounds, and then we put quotes, inspirational quotes, or prayers, or even sayings, Bible verses. And what I find is that, people just have a blast. Like, it takes away that fear of, oh my gosh, I have to make this look exactly like something. And then you're able to just go for it and do this really cool design. So I'm going to just add a really thin black line. Not big at all. I'm just going to go really thin with this liner brush. It's an Americana Gloss Enamels Glass Art Liner. And again, I'm using my pinky to help hold, and then I'm going to turn this around. And I think these are so pretty if you get, you know, the greenery, the wreath that's, you know, oh, I forget what it's called. You know, the traditional green wreath they always have around Christmas. And then you put this, you know, tack it into it, and then this could be your door hanger on a wreath. And then you have a really pretty handmade that you could put on the door. So you could put anything, Be Merry, pretty much whatever you want on this thing. Yeah, and if you have any questions for me, or if you want to reach out, you can find me on TexasArtandSoul.com. That's Texas Art, A-R-T, and A-N-D, Soul, SOUL.com. You can send me a message there, or you can go to my Facebook page, Texas Art and Soul. You can find me at either of those places. Usually Facebook Messenger is the faster way. All right, and that's pretty much it. So I added glitter. We did if you look at it up close, you can see the glitter, it kind of shimmers. And then you could do a hole in it and put a big bow if you wanted, or you could put it behind the big, you know, green wreath, and then actually put it on your door. So I hope you enjoyed the Christmas in July. Okay, so I hope you had fun painting your cute little ornament door hanger. Remember, you could put a hole in here, add a big bow, and then also, this is not the kind of wreath I was talking about, but some kind of wreath behind it, the Christmas type, then you could attach it to it, and that could be your door hanger too. So anyway, these are really fun. They're so easy, and they're so much fun to do with a little stencil. You can see my hands are a mess. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, if you need more information or if you have questions, please reach out. My website is TexasArtandSoul.com, or you can find me on Facebook. And I hope y'all have fun painting this Christmas in July ornament with stencils. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.